What is good? Welcome back. So I want to talk about TRT today because it's the most common thing I get asked besides the peptide thing. Everybody wants to take TRT, and all the guys that are asking me are way too young. They haven't had their blood work done, and they just basically, I think they want to take a cycle without saying they're taking a cycle. So the most crucial way to think about why it's probably bad is because it is one of the worst cost to benefit ratios of anything you can do. Assuming you don't have clinically low testosterone, if you're bouncing around in the reference range, even from like medium to high, your cost to benefit ratio is really bad. Let me explain what I mean by that. Most people are scared to take steroids and go on cycle, mostly because you get suppressed. They're not really worried about too many other things, maybe down the line, but up front, we're worried about suppression of your natural testosterone production. Suppression of your natural production is not linear. So when you take TRT, you're basically getting suppressed pretty much just as much as a full-blown cycle. Like you're like 90% there. So if you think about it, if you took a full-blown cycle, you would get phenomenally more muscle mass, muscle gain than you would if you went on TRT, but you're getting suppressed almost equally the same. This goes for guys that have anything normal in the testosterone range. Now, if you're going from like low, medium-ish, like 300 for like, a younger dude, up to like 1,000, which is still the reference range, you're really not gonna see huge gains. You need to keep that in mind. You're not gonna change your life doubling or tripling your testosterone within the reference range. Just blast the cycle, right? That's not my medical opinion, but that's probably what you really wanna do. Now, if you really are thinking you have low testosterone symptoms and you wanna go TRT, there are some steps we could take. Obviously, the first thing, you get blood work. The next steps on that, looking at your estrogen levels. You get your estrogen levels blood tested. You look at the ratio. Some people have really bad testosterone to estrogen ratio, and they just need to fix their estrogen, and all their side effects go away. They thought they had low test, but they really just had high estrogen. But you could just rip that off the bat with some like pharmaceutical anti-estrogens and just kind of get it in range, see how you feel. Or you can do it the natural way. Let's say it's just your testosterone that's on the lower end. Obviously, you've tried to test max it and just get everything you can out of it. I'm assuming you've tried that and it didn't work. And then you got your blood work and it's still not higher. So where do we go from there? Now you have a couple options here. We have HCG monotherapy, SERMs, and then SARMs. I'm only mentioning SARMs here because this would only be beneficial if the only thing you're looking for from a TRT style boost is muscle gain and like body composition changes. SARMs might be an option for you. I would only recommend trying the SARM thing if you got your blood work done, you have a decent testosterone level, you don't have low test because SARMs will suppress you. So if you have low test and you take SARMs, it's gonna make it worse. If the muscle gain is something that you like after running like a 3-month cycle or 2-month cycle of SARMs, then that level of muscle gain that you got from a light SARM could be somewhat relative to what you would get from a TRT style, boosting it from like, let's say low, medium, or medium all the way to the top of the reference range. Now, if that isn't exactly what you're looking for and the setup isn't right, then we can talk about boosting testosterone. Now, before TRT, you would do HCG primarily before SERMs, and this is my opinion. HCG seems to be safer. You would do both of these in short bursts anyway, but HCG is gonna be a little bit healthier than a SERM. And what I mean by SERMs are things like Nolvadex, raloxifene, and enclomiphene, Clomid. The ones we're using for test boosting nowadays that the doctors are prescribing are enclomiphene. That one seems to be pretty good on paper. I would have to do a lot more research to like recommend it, but I never recommend, especially young dudes, take a SERM or enclomiphene. Even though it is low on like the side effect list, they still have the eye issues and there are some actual mental effects that are very variable between people. So that is the problem with SERMs. That's why I recommend going HCG over it. It's pretty straightforward. We know it's just gonna boost your estrogen a little bit more than it would if it was just straight test. So baseline dosages of HCG just to keep you stable would be around 750 to 1,000 mcgs per week. That wouldn't boost you. So that would be your baseline level. For most people, you would have to go up to like 5,000, 10,000 units of HCG per week, something like that. And then you would get your blood work done after say 8 weeks and make sure you keep your estrogen low with something like a Arimidex. Now, if you go with the HCG or the enclomiphene, you want to keep these to about a 3-month-long cycle max. And you would track everything. Obviously, you would track your body composition, how you feel, everything like that, and see if it's something that's worth it for you. After the 3 months, if you didn't see a lot of the benefits that you're looking for, TRT is probably not going to help you. If you did notice a big difference being at the top of the reference range, then TRT is something you can consider. If you do decide to get on TRT, whether you tried everything in the video or you just want to say, fuck it, get me on TRT already. Keep in mind, like I said earlier, if suppression is the scariest thing for you to take gear and then you're going to take TRT for muscle gain, you might as well just go on a full-blown cycle. That's not a medical recommendation or anything, but if that's what you're looking for, that's probably going to give you the best cost to benefit ratio. Now, if we're talking about other side effects from gear, like all the negative health consequences, if you're worried about those other than suppression, then yes, way higher doses over TRT are going to be way worse for you. So if that is something you're concerned about, then yeah, just do the TRT and don't do a cycle. If you guys need help with any of this kind of stuff, deciding, you could always message me on Instagram. I do coaching, get people in shape, gear use, peptide use, all that kind of stuff. Feel free to shoot me a message. I got my email in the description as well. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.